everybody, welcome back. Today's video, I'm taking you along as I plant this little flower bed that we have here. We used to mow this, and to be honest, it was kind of a pain to get the mower in here and then turn it before we have to go down the hill. So we decided this year we were going to transform it into a flower bed, specifically a hummingbird flower bed. We both enjoy watching the hummingbirds, having them around. We do hang the feeders, but I also like to have plants around for them to also get nectar and the nutrients that they need from. In addition to the flowers, I did also purchase a Buckeye tree. I'm not going to put it in this flower bed. I'm actually going to put it in the one up front. The Buckeyes can get fairly large, and I really don't want it pushing against the retaining wall here or the roots coming in under the porch. So I'm going to put it in another flower bed, but the Buckeye tree's flowers will also attract hummingbirds. So they'll have this location and another location around the corner for options to get nectar from the flowers. I'll show you kind of how I have this set up, how I'm going to place them in here, and then we'll get to planting. This is a large area, a little bit larger for the 10 plants that I have, but some of these plants do get up to a couple feet tall, about a couple feet wide, some of them even larger. So I want to make sure I do have them spaced out enough to where they can efficiently grow in this flower bed. So we will kind of grow this up. It will kind of be a native flower bed, but mostly to attract hummingbirds and bees. Okay, I've got the plants set out, I think, where I want them. We've got the taller ones back here towards the fence, and they get shorter or smaller as they go closer to the edge. One other thing I did try to do was separate out the colors. Your three main colors you're going to have with your hummingbird flowers: purples, reds, and pinks. I tried not to have all the reds together, all the purples together. Try to scatter them out a little bit. I do have two red ones here together, but this one's going to be kind of small, so I think it'll be okay. The pink one here in the middle to try to kind of separate it up. The larkspur that I am going to transfer is a purple flower, so I will have to strategically place that in here so I don't have a bunch of the purple together. And the larkspur can get kind of tall, so I'm hoping I left enough space in between here to place those. Right now it looks like they're too spread apart, but these are still young plants. Grab a shovel, we'll get these in the ground. Okay, the first one I have here, one of the tall ones, foxglove beard tongue. Kind of similar to snapdragons, if you've planted those or if you've heard of those. This one will get fairly tall, could get possibly up to 50 inches tall. That's why we've got it in the back. It will produce white tubular flowers. You'll notice with a lot of these, they will have some sort of tube, or the flowers will be tubular for the hummingbirds to stick their long beaks down into. The white flowers will bloom around May or June, so you'll be catching the hummingbirds early in the summer, early in the season, as they're maybe coming in, migrating in from the southern part of the hemisphere. Next we have blue sage. This is in the salvia family. Once again, you may have seen salvia in stores before. The blooms on this plant occur in late summer. They will have a bluish purple whirl of flowers towards the top. And as for the size on these, they can get up to 4 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Can become a fairly large plant, but it'll take several years for it to get established and really get that large. For our last tall flower that we're going to be putting in this bed is the garden or the summer phlox. This will produce pink flowers later in the summer, about July through September, towards the end of when the hummingbirds, or even butterflies for that matter, will be needing their last little bit of nectar before they fly off to migrate. These can also get up to 4 feet tall, which is why I've got it planted towards the fence in the back, so it doesn't shade or cover up some of the smaller ones. Getting into our mid-range size, we have the royal catchfly. This will bloom between June and August, so it kind of gives you a full summer bloom. They will be about 2-inch red flowers, and the unique part about the flowers is where it gets its name catchfly from. the flower itself will actually catch other insects when they come up to get the nectar. These can get up to 3 feet tall and about 18 inches wide. Another one in our mid-range, but I am going to have it in the center because it can get kind of tall, is the wild bergamot. This is one that does have medicinal uses. If you would be interested in looking that up, you can find more out on how you could use the wild bergamot besides having it for the hummingbirds and the butterflies. But the wild bergamot can get up to 48 inches tall, so another 4-foot plant, and can get 2 feet wide, if not more. It produces pinkish purple flowers all summer long. So a very popular one that extends its bloom kind of throughout the whole time that the hummingbirds will typically be here. Next we have the cardinal flower. This one can get fairly tall, again between 36-48 inches tall and about 18 inches wide. It produces a long stalk that has a cluster of red flowers towards the very, very top. This is a favorite for hummingbirds. It blooms typically in the latter part of summer. Here we have shining blue star. It will produce bluish colored flowers in the shape of a star. These will be for the early arrivals, as this one blooms in May. It can get about 3 feet tall and can spread about 3 feet wide. Here we have bee balm, also known as horse mint. This one is related to the wild bergamot. It does have medicinal values just like the wild bergamot did. It is part of the mint family. And these can get about 2 feet tall and about 2 feet wide. The flowers on these form a whorl at the top, kind of a cluster at the top, and they will be anywhere between white to pink to light purple. They bloom in May and June. So some of your early summer bloomers again. Next we have probably one of my favorite ones because it's unique. I tend to favor the ones that have something unique or special about them. Here we have the columbine. Not a fairly large plant. It can get about 2 feet tall, 12-18 inches wide maybe. But the flowers is my favorite part. The flowers nod or droop, and they will be yellow with red, what they call spurs that hang down. These will probably be the earliest bloomers. They can bloom April, May. These will be probably the first ones that the hummingbirds or even the butterflies will be able to use for their nectar coming back from migration. I have columbine in 2 other spots here on the farm, and the one spot right over here I've got, and I'll take you over there here in a little bit and show you as it is in bloom currently. These can occur in other colors. I have seen purple ones, but for the native ones, they will be the yellowish with the red spurs. For the last flower, we have Indian pink. This one will get about 18 to 24 inches tall and 18 to 24 inches wide. The flowers on this one is another unique one. It is the tubular flowers. They will be red on the outside, but on the inside and the petals that come out will be yellow, and down into the tube it will also be yellow. Another early bloomer, about May, June for the flowers, the blooms on this one. Another key thing to note with flowers, and this is a general rule of flowers, not just for native ones, for any of them. It takes about 3 years for plants to show their beauty, I guess you could say. So remember the 3 steps. The first year, they sleep, so you won't have hardly anything that's going to happen the first year. The second year, they creep, so you might have a flower or 2, it may show a little bit. But then the third year, they leap. So the third year is whenever you're really going to start seeing the plant and what it fully looks like. So just remember the 3. First year they sleep, second year they creep, the third year they leap. Several signs here of good dirt, right? Need to go fishing. When it comes to soil, this flower bed here that we're going to put the Buckeye in has had mulch for several years, at least 6 years I think. So over time the mulch breaks down, and adds nutrients to soil. And I wanted you to see the difference in it here. So this is towards the top, and the size of the worms we have here, a good area for the Buckeye tree. We have our last hummingbird plant in the ground. Compared to the other flowers we just planted, this is a tree. It could possibly get about 20 foot tall and 5 foot wide. I think this will be a nice filler for this corner of our front flower bed. The Buckeye tree will produce large clusters of red flowers blooming between May and June, so the earlier part of the summer. Hummingbirds love the tubular flowers from the Ohio Buckeye. While we are planting these plants to attract the hummingbirds and to have a source of nectar, we do feed the hummingbirds by the hanging feeders. An important note on that, do not use the red dye. A lot of times in the stores they will sell it with the red dye. You do not want to do that. You can easily make your own 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. We have found that they prefer the cane sugar better. We have been using that the past couple years, so that's another option you can experiment with. When doing the feeders, unless you have a large number of hummingbirds coming to them, maybe not fill it as full, because you do want to change it every couple days as it will sour. So that is something to keep in mind if you are hanging the feeders with the sugar water mixture. I hope you found this video instructional, maybe inspired you to put out some of these plants for more hummingbirds in your area. We love having them around. We love watching them. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. It is starting to get nicer here in Southeast Missouri. We are outdoor enthusiasts, so we will be out a whole lot more, making a lot of outdoor videos, especially with garden season right around the corner. So we would love to have you stick around. If you know somebody who's interested in hummingbirds, go ahead and share this video with them, as we did discuss several plants that do attract the hummingbirds. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and we will catch you later. Bye.